Alright guys, it's officially week 2 of the gear wall build, or should I say day 2.5 roughly. And today we are finishing this thing, at least for now. Now, I was feeling a little under the weather this morning, so I went ahead and got started on some organizational things and putting the last few pieces of pegboard gear organization materials up on the wall to put away some things like my bike stuff. I also made a big decision about that gaping hole from last week. Originally, I was planning on doing a built-in, but the goal of this project has been to 1, organize all my gear, and 2, do it as budget-friendly as possible by using the materials and the storage optimization strategies that I already owned. The rest of the plan is the same. I'm gonna go ahead today and build a shoe storage area, and then on top I'll be able to rest things like fuel cans and other small miscellaneous camping items. And hopefully by the end of today we can go through where and how I've actually stored everything to wrap this project up. So let's get into it. For me, being outdoorsy has become so much more than putting on a backpack and hitting the trail. It's the custom DIY projects like this gear wall that I've been working on for the past few weeks. It's optimizing my car camping setup so that I'm comfortable when I'm traveling on the road with Tara and friends. And it's never worrying about being power poor when I'm on the road and trying to focus on the fun things, like capturing the story for you all and enjoying the fresh air. All of which is why I rely on the Bluetti Apex 300. It not only powers all of my DIYs here at home and our time on the road, but it also acts as peace of mind when I'm back at home and fully reliant on the grid, which I'm sure many of you can relate to not being all that reliable after all. As for my DIYs, it has become the heart of every project. Boasting 2,700 watt hours of capacity and nearly 4,000 watts of output, the Apex 300 is capable of powering and charging all of my tools, my camp gear, and larger equipment like compressors and small welders without skipping a beat. And with surge power protection, the system can handle sudden spikes, which would completely shut down other systems, allowing me to focus on my project instead of babysitting my power source. And when it's time to test my work and hit the road, the Apex 300 can come with me. It's compact, easy to roll on its trolley, and strong enough to power camp essentials for days. Fridges, lights, fans, and even an induction cooktop or electric heater for those chilly nights and snowy mornings. Now, if you're anything like me, you spent far too many days being worried about running out of power. like before I had Bluetti systems along with me, but not with the Apex 300. Its fast charging capabilities allow me to easily recharge in places like laundromats, libraries, or at camp when I'm off-grid for days using my 400-watt solar panel from Bluetti. With AC power especially, it can go from 0 to 80% in under 1 hour, making it easy to bring along without a doubt. Going on a longer adventure? No problem. Its modular design means you can add expansion batteries or link multiple Apex units for even more capacity. So whether you're camping for a weekend or a full week in a remote spot, your power can scale with you. No complicated wiring and no massive upfront cost. And when I'm back home, the Apex 300 is much more than a DIY powerhouse. It's also reliable backup power for when the grid goes down, like it does often here in Colorado in hot summer days and cold winter months. The Apex 300 can double as a whole home backup station, keeping the fridge, Wi-Fi, and lights running during blackouts with 0 millisecond UPS switching. It's quiet, it's clean, and it's ready the second the grid goes down. And finally, if these tech specs and personal stories aren't enough to convince you, the Apex 300 is built with automotive-grade batteries, which can last up to 17 years and take over 6,000 full life cycles of charging. So it keeps powering your projects for years to come. So whether you're building your own home gear wall, like I am, testing new camp setups, or weathering a storm at home, the Bluetti Apex 300 will give you the freedom to create and explore without limits. Start simple, scale smart, and power every project, whether it's at home or under the stars. So whether you're looking to power your next at-home DIY project, for peace of mind this upcoming winter, or anything in between, you can head down to the link in the description down below to learn more and purchase the Apex 300 for your system today. And be sure to use the community exclusive code listed for an additional 5% off your order. And thank you to Bluetti for sponsoring today's video. Alright you guys, I think that just about does it for this portion of the build. There is still a lot of things that I would love to do, like getting rid of this Dexter plastic, but it is currently holding in all the insulation in this house, which we don't own. So in terms of modifications that I can do without adding too many undos when we eventually move out, there's only so much that I could actually put up on the walls. And all of that considered, I'm really stoked with how it came out. I figured before I end, I'll go through each section by section, and talk a little bit more about some future upgrades, minor modifications, and additions that I have planned, but that I wanted to hit pause on for now to see how this room actually functions, especially as we start to transition from camping and biking season into ski season. Okay, so first up are my quilts and a sleeping bag. I have 2 quilts here. This one is a 30 degree that was lackluster this summer in Colorado. It's probably closer to about a 50 right now just because of how condensed the down has become over time. I've had it for over 5 years, so I think I got a pretty good run of, in some cases, almost daily use for months at a time. And because of that, I recently upgraded to a winter/colder weather quilt because that is my preference. And that is the Katabatic 20 degree quilt. All the way on the far side, I have their little bags hung up, but I've been wanting to hang my bags for a really long time, not only to air them out after trips, but also just to take better care of the down so that way they last longer. And in the center here, last and actually least, because it is my least favorite, I am not a mummy bag gal. This is a 20 degree mummy from Marmot. I could see myself using this for winter, like snow camping on the ground this year, especially again, being in Colorado. But I think if we were to do actual snow camping, I would probably have to almost double up, which is why I have a liner stored on the other side, which we'll get to a little bit later. Okay, second section. This is what I was probably most stoked to do, and it is my splitboard gear wall. I have my helmet, gloves, goggles, some snow pants that have been hanging in a downstairs closet that I just wanted to move and have with the rest of my stuff, some maintenance equipment, my boots, and some avalanche equipment. This section will likely be getting an upgrade in the form of baskets. I don't really love having things just loose in here. Doesn't look that nice, and also I feel like it's really easy for stuff to get pushed off and disorganized. So I'm really excited to find baskets that fit in this custom little rack here, and really excited to actually mount these properly. I did buy dowels, and my original plan was to mount them along the wall here, which might still be what I end up doing, but I recently saw some really pretty custom pieces that could easily be removed in the future when we do go to move that I might actually spring for as a little treat yourself gift. One of the only non-DIY, non-budget friendly parts of this. So that's why these guys are still slanted. And then finally back here, I have skins, crampons, and just a couple other miscellaneous accessories. Okay, this section here is where it starts to feel a little bit chaotic. There are a lot of baskets, a lot of really tiny pieces of equipment, and I did my best to group them by type, or at least like kind. I have all of my backpacks up on the wall here, Tara's little doggy pack there for backpacking. Up top, I have things like boot care and first aid equipment and a water filter. Small electronics. I have these guys, which are great for snowy weather. Make sure it's still in frame. I have my poles hung up, headlamps, some belay straps, and then other just like health, personal care items, toiletries, etc. Down below, I have this really fun and also very imperfect shoe rack. I wanted a place to put all my shoes, and because I do have some extra miscellaneous gear in my car from a past trip, I also wanted a flat space where I could just put small items. Again, I'll probably get some baskets that fit this space and not just like have things thrown here, but having this flat space was important to me, and it just so happened to fit all of my outdoor shoes perfectly. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start up top here. This in theory is going to be like my bike workshop. It would be lovely in a perfect world to have one of those really fancy Park Tool stand wall mounts. Right now, my bike, as you'll see, is just up on the wall and another one is downstairs. But this, hopefully, will have a custom fit little countertop here soon. These are all of my bike mechanical, spare part, cassette, etc. equipment. And then here, I also have some of my favorite bike bags up that are not currently on my bike. The bike section does kind of wrap around towards this side. I think we're still in frame. And here I have some spare pegboard with things like cleats, an extra seat, gloves, and this is actually fishing equipment. Not related, but it just did not fit on the wall over there, so I figured this is a great spot grouping bags together for it to go. Okay, by far the most chaotic section because nothing is in a box really other than this guy. This storage box does not have a top on it because I wanted to be able to easily pull things out, but it is home to, well, 2 Crazy Creek camp chairs, all of my tents, all of my sleeping pads, and other sleeping equipment like pillows. I also have my backpacking water bottle in here just because it didn't really fit anywhere else, and because all of this stuff is for camping. These are actually 2 boxes and bags of backpacking food. I have a bear canister back there and a mini solo stove, some of my Nalgene's, all of my camp fuel, and then back here I have things like cups, plates, pots and pans, an Omnia stove from when I used to live on the road, and on this side finally we have all of my extra miscellaneous bags, a PFD for whitewater activities, and down low we have a yoga mat, floor mats, traction pads, fishing poles, and a table. Now this corner is kind of hard to show, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do a once over. It is also the most unfinished. We have a helmet and some extra bike gear, some fishing equipment, a lot of spare pegboard, and a lot of empty wall right next to my mountain bike. Okay, all of that said, there are still a lot of upgrades I want to make. One, I think I've actually got the lighting situation pretty good up here with my construction lights and the one really crappy yellow lamp that's up here. But it would be really cool to have some overhead lighting over the gear, especially because in the future, I think it could be fun to film a few more like pack with me gear videos. I really enjoy watching those and it's something I've always wanted to try, but that requires better lighting. I also really want to get my snowboards set up a little bit better. I would love to make this more efficient using boxes and baskets. Same goes for the ski room. Same goes for the bike wall. I might actually also hang my second bike. The only reason that I haven't is because I ride it multiple times a week usually, whereas my mountain bike, not so much. So it being up here is not that big of a deal because I don't take it downstairs that often. But putting my gravel bike up here right now just seems like kind of a hassle because I'm constantly using it, and right now it's just better to have it downstairs. That said, I do have a spare wheel set that if I don't mount that bike up here, I will probably be putting that on the wall. Otherwise, I would say that I'm really stoked with how this came out. I spent less than $100 on the pegboard, the baskets, like screws and miscellaneous hardware, use nearly all of the wood that I already owned because I had a lot from past projects just living up here, and finally can give my gear the quality of life it deserves when it's not in use. I'm sure after a few weeks and months of using this space, I will probably think of other things to update and upgrade, so I'm really looking forward to actually getting my hands dirty, spending more time up here, and actually enjoying and being able to see all of my gear. And I hope that this video served as inspiration if you're looking to do the same. Thank you to Bluetti for sponsoring today's video. Thank you to all of our patrons who have been here through thick and thin for a few years now, and I will see you all in the next one. But in the meantime, get outside, huh? Bye.